Ever wonder why Helvetica is a go-to typeface for most people and brands? Did you notice the arrow in the FedEx logo at first glance? The Helvetica typeface is used so much in our society, some people love it and some hate it. The FedEx logo went through multiple redesigns before landing on this iconic logo that's used and known worldwide. Today, we will discuss the Helvetica typeface and the FedEx logo plus the typefaces Futura and Univers 67 and see how these typefaces, specifically Helvetica and Futura, have become the basis for so many logotypes and company branding and what's so special about them. Let's begin with the history of these two specimens. The typeface Helvetica was created in 1957 by Max Miedinger and Eduard Hoffmann. It all began at the Haas Type Foundry in Switzerland, where Helvetica got its inspiration from another popular typeface at that time, Accidens Grotesque. Helvetica's original name was Die Neue Haas Grotesque, which became a huge success and a hallmark of contemporary Swiss design. Neue Haas Grotesque ended up changing to Helvetica based on Helvetia, a Latin word for Switzerland, so it could be easier to remember. Miedinger and Hoffmann wanted to create a neutral typeface that had great clarity, no intrinsic meaning in its form, and could be used on a wide variety of signage. Helvetica is extremely popular when it comes to commercial use and branding. We can see it in company logos such as Target, American Airlines, and BMW and places like the New York subway stations. Moving on to FedEx. FedEx was founded in 1971 by Frederick Smith with the original name being Federal Express. The first logo, Federal Express, was designed in 1971 to 1994 and later had a transitional logo designed in 1991 and was used till 1994. The first logo was a wordmark using a custom sans serif typeface with rounded edges. It had a particular color palette that included red, white, and blue to show a linked connection between the civilian population in the U.S. government. The color choices of red and blue represented how red radiates strength, power, and courage while blue gives off professionalism. The present FedEx logo was designed by Lyndon Leader in 1994 and he had done multiple revisions that included changing the X heights, increasing the size of lowercase letters to be relative to the capital letters and much more. Leader's design philosophy revolves around simplicity and clarity. He's known for many other company logos such as Hawaiian Airlines and a few others, but his most popular logo design is the FedEx logo and the use of negative space. The logo uses a combination of Futura bold and Univers 67 and is also one of the best examples of subliminal messaging. With how the letters are arranged in the tight kerning, the capital E and lowercase x creates an arrow within the negative space, which shows the company's idea of speed, accuracy, strive for excellence, and direction forward. Color is also a big factor with the present FedEx logo. As Lyndon Leader keeps the logo minimalist, he uses a dark purple and orange as the company branding that displays a grand and luxurious image of the company while highlighting the aspect of simplicity. Leader later made a set of logos for each of the services that FedEx offers with a specific color. Orange being Express, green is Ground, red is Freight, yellow is Trade Network, blue is Office, and gray is for Corporation. Now you may be wondering what's the relationship between these two specimens. Well, if we dig deeper into the FedEx logo, we know that they use one of the other few popular typefaces, which is Futura. Futura was designed by Paul Renner in 1927 and was based on geometric shapes. Although Renner was not part of Bauhaus, he did have similar ideas to the Bauhaus style. He also wanted to modernize typography by moving away from the heritage of calligraphy. Other companies that use Futura besides FedEx include Absolute and Volkswagen. Speaking of the FedEx logo, it's good to note that it uses the Futura typeface instead of Helvetica. The reason for this is that the designer, Lyndon Leader, wanted to create a unique and memorable logo that stood out from its competitors. He believed that Futura conveyed a sense of speed, efficiency, and modernity, which aligned well with FedEx's brand values. This leads to how the FedEx logo can be placed in the category of commercial because of how it's between craft and art. One of the main differences between Helvetica and Futura is their geometric structure. Helvetica has a more rounded structure with tall X heights, and only horizontal and vertical strokes. Being legible at a distance, allows it to give a dense and solid appearance, making it perfect for headlines. Helvetica is a simple, modern typeface and it's the base for any design, also considered as a catalog, because of its neutral elements. Futura is made up of simple geometric forms like triangles, squares, and near circles along with clean simple lines. This gives Futura a more futuristic and modern look, while Helvetica has a more timeless and classic appearance. Both of these typefaces have become a popular choice for many brands because of its neutrality and efficiency, which are important qualities for any brand to communicate to their audiences. However, with so many companies using Helvetica and Futura, some people argue that we have become oversaturated with these typefaces. They argue that it's time for companies to explore new and unique typefaces that can help them stand out in a crowded marketplace. Another factor is that, specifically with Helvetica, it's awful for readability, especially for people with poor eyesight. Because it has tight kerning, it does limit legibility on screens and small prints. That's why Apple switched from Helvetica Neue to San Francisco, a custom typeface, because it got harder to read as the devices got smaller since letters started blending together. Another example of one who agreed with Helvetica being oversaturated is Paula Scher. From the Helvetica movie in 2007, she associated this typeface with corporate design, meaning they all looked alike, so she wanted to go in the opposite direction, with something more unique. Overall, both the Helvetica typeface and the FedEx logo have made significant impact in the design world, and we now know why companies choose Helvetica and Futura as a typeface for their branding. And that wraps up this video essay about the relationship between Helvetica and the FedEx logo.